And so, okay, learning from the past. I mean, I think when you look at this, we've been through, okay, not exactly the same situation, but we've been through things like this before. And so, I mean, whether it be the bushfires in Australia, and let me put this in perspective. There was a woman at one of the round table I ran, virtual round table, because it had to be virtual because no mass gatherings, and about a week ago, and she's from Australia, and she said, okay, she's been in revenue management for a while. She said, I've been through, just got through with bushfires. I've been through tsunamis. I've been through SARS. I've been through 9/11. I've been through the Asian financial crisis. And so I just pull my little book out that says, don't panic on it, basically. And so, but you look at this, okay, whether it be a typhoon, we got with COVID, 9/11, with Zika, all of these, we have been through these before. And you know what, but one of the things that I think is particularly scary is for people who have never been through this before, because I'm teaching right now, I have undergrads, and of course, they've never been through anything like this before. And the first time you go through it, you're kind of looking at it and you're going, oh my goodness, this is the worst thing in the world. We're never going to get through this. Yes, you are going to get through it. And what you want to do is look back, what worked in these situations and what can you learn from those for this situation? Because, you know, we have to learn from the past. And then the other thing that I would highly recommend is that as you go through this, make notes on what you're doing. And so that you have a document there so that afterwards you can see it and you can track what works and what doesn't. So you have a document that you could use for the future where hopefully we won't go through something like this before again. But I mean, if we do, you've got something to help you get through that. And if you look at this, this is back to SARS. So this is 2003, and things came back, right? And so this is, again, this is, China, Singapore, so, okay, Hong Kong. And like in May of 2003, I mean, things were horrible. The real story I like to tell here is one of my former students, and she was a revenue manager at a hotel in Singapore. And she'd been pushing really, really hard for them to get a computerized revenue management system. And I won't use any names or anything. And she was finally successful. And the day that it went live was the day that SARS broke out in Singapore. And everybody was going, oh, great idea you had there. And 4 people in the hotel, great. But, it came back. And so when you look at this, it took about 3 or 4 months for things to come back. Now, of course, the other question here, and I know Karen's going to talk about it later in the webinar, is that it's kind of 2 stages to something like this. One is, what do you do to get through these times down at the bottom where we are right now? But then also, how do you position yourself for moving into the future? Because that's important as well.